here we are with your two kids and your mum is here. What do you do for a job, and what's life like at the moment?
I'm an NHS worker, and it's a hard time working in the NHS at the minute.
Yeah. Does it feel different now to the way it's felt previously?
Definitely. So in the past, I used to be able to. I used to be able to work extra shifts to save up to go on holiday, whereas now I have to work extra shifts every month just to get through the month.
You're working bank shifts at the weekends, and that money is basically the stuff that keeps you going,
salary,
topping up your salary, and that's where you have to come in and help on those days where normally you'd be here looking after the kids.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you're still working, is that right as well?
I am still working, yeah. I'm 70. So I've passed my retirement age, and I one day a week I look after these two. But it's just got to the point now where I actually feel afraid of, like pension poverties.
This is normal life for so many people now, isn't it? It's trying to dig deep, trying to work those extra hours, and I suppose it must be hard for you as a mum, because you don't get any time when you can enjoy those small parts of life, which I imagine you were doing a few years ago.
I worked very, very hard, and it just feels like so tiring. I often use my annual leave to work in a second job, actually. So I've just got less and less time to spend with my kids, and the time I've got with them, I feel bad-tempered and tired, and it just makes you end up feeling guilty.
You've just heard your mum be really honest with us and talk about how hard she's trying to work to, put food on the table, and she'd love to spend more time with you, but it's really difficult.
I put the food on the table.
You put the food on the table. Are you secretly going out and doing some work, Ray, are you? How does that make you feel when you think about what your mum's doing?
It makes me feel proud and disappointed that, in what the world's become, because we have to work so hard now and we never get to see the people we love, which upsets me because it's key time with my family.
I guess one of my worries is that my boiler would break, because these flats, the boilers are, I don't know, like 15 years old, and some other people on the estate's boilers have broken, and it's like I'm just living with that anxiety that the boiler would break.
Would you have money to pay for that if that was to happen?
No, I'd have to take out a loan.
Do you worry about stuff like that as well, or do you talk to your mum about it, or your gran maybe?
Yeah, but I worry that someday we're just going to get kicked out of the house and there's nothing we're going to be able to do about it. I mean, I know that maybe it's a bit far, because I know we can afford the house, but I'm worried that one day maybe we'll run out of money and we're not going to be able to live here, and we're going to have to go and move in with my gran, who's not going to be able to retire.
And what about Christmas? How has this crisis, how's that impacted how you're thinking about what's going to happen this year?
I'm quite careful about saving up for Christmas, because when I first started having kids, the first couple of years it's fine because they don't mind whatever you give them, but as soon as they start wanting more expensive things, it really hit me the first time.
Christmas is quite special because it's one of the only times we get to have an entire week without any work, and we all just get to enjoy it.
Ray, what is it that you want for Christmas this year?
You know what you want, don't you?
What is it you want, Ray?
2 twin dolls.
Some dolls?
Yeah, 2 twin dolls.
While Ray went off to bed to dream of dolls, Rudy finished off the washing up. And after that, I got the chance to sit down for a chat with their mum. I just wonder, as a mum, what was it like to hear Rudy talk about some of those things tonight, and to be so aware of what's going on?
It makes me feel really sad because, when you see them playing, you think that they're carefree, but actually when you hear them talk about it, you think, oh my God, they're listening to all us talking about the bills going up, or, worrying about having to buy a new school uniform and that kind of thing. They can hear it all and, it makes me feel sad.
You're clearly exhausted, and, you're doing a brilliant job being a mum to both Rudy and to Ray. When someone asks you now, how are you doing, or are you okay, do you go the traditional British stiff upper lip, or are you honest about how things are?
I tend to say, if someone says, how are you, I say, not too bad. Not too bad, because that means fine, doesn't it? But I say, not too bad. Yeah. yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think it's helpful to be talking about how terrible things are all the time. Yeah, you have to sort of be able to keep going, don't you?
Well, I hope you do manage to keep going, and thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your life with us.
That's okay.
It's been a real pleasure to meet you and the kids
nice
as
to
well,
meet
and
you,
your
yeah.
mum.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. And we should say a really big thank you to Jordan, to Penny, to Ray and to Rudy for talking to us. And we're going to go back to see them during the ongoing crisis, see how that affects them in 2023. And we'll also be focusing on a number of other families and individuals across the UK. We'll introduce you to them over the next few weeks.